Hello, Lightworkers and GOL Network community. We are here today to do our fireside chat. Today's topic is enhancing your marketing tools. And so that's something that we're going to be talking about today. And so we've got myself, Dr. Dana, and David DeArmond that are going to be sharing. We are officially going to be doing live and recorded. And so hopefully the mic, can you hear pretty well? Will, you're a mic test on this one.
Yes, I can hear you pretty well.
Okay, good job. Thank you for the mic test. And so when we were coming up, thank you, Will. The whole time he's gonna peek at.
We're gonna be like Pavlov's dog.
Random ways in this. So last time, Will was our guest speaker and we went over marketing. So we went over some marketing basics with that. And so really looking at how our customers come into the pipeline. And so as they come in through our marketing and doing the different types of like email, social media, YouTube, how we're getting them into that pipeline, how we're nurturing those contacts, and then how they become the raving fans. And so we really just broke that process down. Will, do you want to give any like quick highlight on last month's fireside that you shared at?
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand your customer journey and like where that begins, right? What's that inflection point where your customers start to see and interact with your brand, and what's their first exposure, right? So, kind of think of it like, hey, this is my house. I'm showing you my house for the first time, and then making sure that it's inviting and that it's clean and that it's clear and it's, the messaging is on point. And then understanding that everything you do from that point on matters, right? All of the messaging, all of the visuals, all of the appointment follow-ups, and everything that you do feeds into that to create that overall experience for your customer. And I think if you think of that how that looks throughout your entire processes, most business owners can pinpoint this isn't optimal, or this doesn't work the best that it can, or you know what, I really think that this experience could be better. And so that's where you kind of create an overall customer experience that's pleasant when they start to engage with your brand from outside of your business, as you bring them into your interacting with your brand on social media, into your place of business, and then beyond, right? What's it feel like to have done business with you, and what's it feel like to, support you as a business advocate in the community as well? So you want to think through all of that stuff together.
Yeah, and I love how, so Will does a really good job at like the big picture. You always do a fabulous job at that. I'm going to share really quick. I know I'm showing off. You see Phil's bright face here. Look at that. Let's see here. I should have pulled this up before. Here it is. I just want to pull this up on the screen really quick. But being able to see like that customer journey. And so when we broke this down, it could be overwhelming, right? Like when you're looking at, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But think of it this way. It could be like a checkbox, right? Like, okay, I'm doing that. What's one more thing that I could add to that pipeline, or how I could improve the customer journey? And so this is just, we really broke this down into detail. Will went over this really well. You guys can always look at the recording too. But it's just a nice reminder, and it's also validating when you look back and you go, oh, like I'm getting Andy's emails, right? You do a newsletter and you got a blog, right? So it's all the different, how we touch on people without calling them like, hey, you want to do this? We talked about that this morning in our Zoom. So it's just a way to like drip on them in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to stop share. So what we're going to really focused on today is tools in our toolbox. And we're really going to dial in on how we use our marketing and getting that out. And so Dana and I have been talking a lot about how we've been leveraging the tools of Canva and AI and being able to use AI in still a heart-centered way, using it as a tool to speed up and be more effective and efficient. And there's a way to do that without and I'm sure you guys can see this, there's people that are putting marketing out there that is, you can tell that it's AI written. Just the language isn't written from that person. And there is a way that we can do that. We can get the AI to speak a little bit more of our language. But we're going to be going over that portion, and then we're going to be showing you some tips and tricks. I know do you use Canva? Everybody in here use Canva? Okay. So if anybody's watching, if you don't use Canva, there is a free version. The pro version is $12.99 a month, and there's so much. It's packed full of tools to be able to use. And so I'll be going over some tips and tricks as well, and then I'm going to hand it off to David. David's going to be going over some email points and tips that we want to think about as business owners, and so that's going to be on the agenda today. So action-packed for the next hour. Hold on to your bones. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to you. Dr. Dina, do you want to share my screen? Yeah. So.
Okay, so I am kind of newer to this whole ChatGPT thing, and I was pretty honestly not really for it at the beginning, and realizing that we have to embrace it. It's really everywhere, and it's usable, and it's friendly if you learn how to use it to your abilities, right? So I kind of just started talking to it this morning, and I'm going to kind of show you guys some of the scripts that I've done. And I'll tell you, the most important thing is to be kind to your AI. If you are kind to them and say thank you and hello, they really do start to listen to you and understand your conversation and how you work. And I've kind of tested it and been really flat and short with it, and I don't get the answers that I'm looking for. So I always start with it's like it was my number one takeaway. So I always start off with hello or hi, how are you today? Right? I'm always starting a conversation. And then if you see it response, it says, I'm doing well, thanks. How can I help you? Right? So it's like a person, right? And so now I've got it on board and I can like, I'm great. Thank you so much. I want your help with something, but how do you write like a human? So I always start with, can you come into human conversational tone? And this is the exact script it gives every single time, pretty much the same, but I always start with, how do you write like a human, right? And so then it immediately takes that in and goes, oh, I want to make sure that I'm relatable and all of these tips here. So in everything I write now on this ChatGPT script from here on is going to include writing like a human. Now, this is only going to be working in this text box. So if I close this and start over, we're back at ground zero like we haven't started. Now, I most likely am going to end up buying ChatGPT. And if you do and you pay the monthly fee, it will save your history. So then I wouldn't have to do this every single time that I start, right? Mm-hmm. So it'll just know who I am and know how I'm starting to speak. So that's my next step, is starting to go into that and purchase that monthly to start really talking to my AI assistant. They really are my assistant. I'm so grateful. So always start with asking, how do you act as a human? Can you show me what it's like to write like a human? Something in that realm, right? And so then I asked it, can you help me with creating social media posts, right? So then my next question is, thank you, right? Can you use those tips to write a social media post to reflect the quote, just keep swimming, right? So it says, sure, here's a post using the tips mentioned, right? So it has the cool little things that they put into all of the posts, the little emojis and stuff. I always take those out, like I don't want them there. So it gives the quote at the beginning. So we read through this and it's kind of nice. Life can throw some big waves at us. Remember, it's all about keeping the momentum. It's really cute written. I liked it. I was like, okay. Oh, and it asked a question at the end. That's really cool. So then it tells me this post uses a conversational tone, shows emotion, is relatable, asks a question to engage the audience, because I asked it to do a social media post. Varies the sentence structure, active voice, and includes specific details. And I said, I like the questions you added in. So I'm saying, thank you for doing that part. But can you make this more kid friendly? Like it just seemed a little dry to me. So it's like, what can you do that's a little bit different? Absolutely. Here it goes. Hey kids, have you ever had a tough day where everything feels really hard? Well, remember what Dory says, just keep swimming, right? I was like, I like this. Okay. So they took it, they changed it just a little bit here. And I love what did you do? What do you do to stay positive when things get hard? Tell us in the comments. So now there's active engagement that would get parents, kids, families. It's like, oh, I like that, right? And then it tells me this version simpler, cheerful tone, relatable examples while keeping the encouraging message. I was like, well, we're kind of a spiritual group. So what if I said more spiritually based? Now what is it going to do? Oh, of course, here you go. Right. And so I actually really liked this one. When times are tough, let your spirit guide you. Every stroke, every effort brings you closer to your purpose. I'm like, ooh, this is starting to feel more like me, right? I'm like, I can start piecing this together. Now, let's pause for a moment. I have 3 or 4 different scripts now. So what I could do is when you go down here, it'll give you a button to read it aloud or copy it. So I can copy every single version of this, go to a notebook and start piecing it together. Use this sentence, take this out, move this, do this. And so I've got 3 different scripts now. One's a little kiddie, one's a little spiritual, one's a little bit more serious. I can start playing with it, but I'm not done yet. I'm like, I really like this. I really like the word resiliency. That is like my favorite thing about this quote, right? It's a strong value I want to have come across to the viewers, right? So then it goes in, does it again, and adds the word resiliency. And if you read this, it's in there like 3 times. It's a little too much for me, right? But still, it put it in. Resiliency is our greatest strength. It gave me options of how to use it. How do you find spiritual strength and resiliency? So now I can take pieces of this and go, oh, this is my favorite part of resiliency. Let me add that in. Oh, that adds to it, right? And so like, keep going, keep going. All right, so it tells me this highlights the resiliency because that's a core value you mentioned while maintaining the spiritual uplifting message and engaging question. So it's noting here the things that I said I liked, right? I liked that it gave me a question. I liked the spirituality. Thank you for putting in my core value. Thank you so much for this, right? And it says, do you want anything else? Have a wonderful day, right? So we ended our conversation and now I said, can we please start a new topic? So from this literally took me 3 minutes. I was doing this before I was preparing here. Just type, go, oh, that's cool. Can you change it? Oh, that's cool. Copy, copy, copy. And 4, 5, 10 minutes, I could have a whole post about Just Keep Swimming. And I didn't have to come up with a lot of things, but my voice is in there and I'm feeling like it's me the more I go through it. Does that make sense? Like, I thought it was brilliant when I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Now, if I copied and pasted one of those, I would not say all of those things that are in each of the scripts, right? So that's why you ask it to do it in different ways, different tones, different age groups, different emotions. Are you trying to reach families? Are you trying to reach a specific population? You can ask those things. And then even if it seems a little bit wrong, ask it differently. Now, also, when you look at these, you can say, this is a bad response. Like, I don't want anything like that again. And it will say, okay, no problem. And you can then go forward and it'll give you many other options. And I'll show you that here in a second. And it makes social media posting for me a lot faster. And I'm not the biggest fan of doing a lot of social media on my own. So it's nice to be able to go quicker through this. I can do this. I can set up my social media posts for 4 weeks in about an hour. I can get them all done and it's 2 a week for Instagram and Facebook. So I can make these, go onto Canva, create it, and then share it and post it for scheduled posts. And I'm done in an hour. And I'm so grateful at how much time has been cut, right? So very, very cool to use that for scripts for your social media. I think that's a huge place to use, but you have to learn how to put your words and emotions into it, right? Because that first script is boring, right? And all of them are kind of, but when you start piecing them together, that's where you get the money, right? Like that's where you can start finding your voice within there. And if you keep this open, it will keep your voice going. It will remember those things. So it is kind of a cool idea to play with it a little bit more or have a version that you work specifically with. So next topic. If you guys don't know already, I'm starting Grounded Botanicals. And so I'm going to be doing a launch soon. So I'm like, oh man, I should probably start thinking of how do I want to get that out there? What is my message? What's my value? What do I want to say to the public, right? So I said, I want to write a new paragraph on my website about my new business I'm opening. It's called Grounded Botanicals. I am a naturopathic doctor who wildcrafts botanical medicine from the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. I want people to be really excited for the new business with cheerleader-like attitude, as this is my personality I would like to pass on. Sure, here it is, right? Welcome to Grounded Botanicals. As a passionate naturopathic doctor and wildcrafter, I'm thrilled to introduce you to our new adventure where nature and healing harmoniously come together. This makes no sense. Nestled in the breathtaking mountains of Pacific Northwest, we handcraft botanical medicine straight from the wild. I was like, nah, that doesn't fit for me. I don't like that, right? So sitting on that one. Get ready to embark on a vibrant journey of health and wellness. Okay. Our mission is to bring incredible healing power of nature to your doorstep. Yeah, kind of, sort of, right? So it's a little bit off, but it's getting an idea of it, right? I loved Let's Grow, Heal, and Thrive Together. And it says, I hope this captured the excitement, enthusiasm you want to convey. If you need any adjustments, let me know. It's like, it's not a welcome notice. It's more of a come check this out type feel, and not nestled into the Pacific Northwest. We harvest in the Pacific Northwest, not from the wild, right? Got it. Adjustment. So then get ready to elevate your wellness game. Oh, I love that, right? With Grounded Botanicals. As a dedicated naturopathic doctor with a passion for harnessing nature's gifts. Yes. Right? And now it's starting to sound more like me. I'm beyond excited. How much do I say those kinds of things, right? To introduce our brand new adventure. At Grounded Botanicals, we're all about bringing you the finest botanicals, medicine straight from the heart of the Pacific Northwest. Right? Our carefully curated selections, handcrafted remedies. It's beautiful. Like, I really like it. And discover the magic of nature's pharmacy. So cool. Like, oh man, it's giving me goosebumps when I read this over and over again. So I was loving on it, right? Oh, it deleted my last ones. So then let's say, I don't know if I really liked that one. Let's regenerate it. So then I press regenerate.
You copied that one,
I would, so I can always go back up and copy it, but I said, just redo it. So here's a whole new version using the exact same prompt. Get ready to dive into the world of natural healing with Grounded Botanicals. As a passionate naturopathic doctor, I'm thrilled to share our latest venture with you. Right, so it's a little bit different. I like it, whether you're seeking a boost in vitality. That's a really good wording there. I love the word vitality. Support your well-being journey, or simply connect to the earth's abundant gifts. Yes. So, and now I'm like, I have 3 or 4 different paragraphs, and I can go through and just, oh, I like these words, I like that, and oh yeah, like herbal farm, like all of it, and it gets me excited, right? And then I want to do it, and I want to get it out there, because it starts almost reading your mind. Kind of scary, but it is, right? But it's a tool that I play with, and man, it gets me excited to write again. And I've lost that desire because I don't know, I'm scared that people are going to take the words the wrong way, or it's going to be interpreted. So when you have all these different perspectives, and you can say, what about from this lens, and how about from this lens, it can really help to feel confident about the message that you're sharing. And it literally tells you what the theme is that you're putting out there. So I always love that with Grammarly, how it'll say like what the theme of your email, your message is. This does the same thing. So then you can really match it to the audience that you're going for, right? I always want to sound like a cheerleader. I always want to be full of enthusiasm. So Grammarly is it's an add-on that you can do, and it helps with punctuation and grammar. And I use it mostly in my Gmail, and it just automatically goes into mine. I think it's free. I've never paid for it, so it just is there. But it'll help fix periods and punctuation. But then it'll say at the end, like, this paragraph feels, and it'll say happy, joyful, peaceful, scary, concerning, or maybe that's what you're trying to get across, angry, right? And then you go, yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted that to be a little bit emotional for somebody, right? Or, ooh, maybe that is the wrong word to use for that, right? And so then you can really start looking at it, and this does all of that in there. And then your grammar is good, your punctuation is on, you don't have to worry about capitals. Like, I love that kind of stuff, because that just doesn't look good on social media, and who wants to go back and edit their posts for everything? You post on so many places, you want to just be seen. So this helps a lot with that too. So really small mini version here of ChatGPT, but start playing with it. Now, my one tip of advice for AI is it is not factual. It is not. So 7 days ago, I just looked up Yoga Nidra, I put in history, I put in effects. It was so wrong. Like, it was so wrong. Like, it made me sad, right? So don't come into this looking for your answers. Use this as a tool to help your voice be heard, right? Very different way of looking at it. And remember, this is an assistant. This is like your friend, right? Be kind to it, and then that way it will actually return with kindness. Like, that's what we're trying to.
Before we go to Canva, yeah, do a little exercise.
Good.
Okay, so we're kind of both doing a little bit of AI and a little bit of Canva. Oh, he's back on. So I use AI in a very similar way. Go ahead and use what, because you already have a tone.
Yep.
But what I like to do is I wanted to act like an expert in something. I don't know if you guys have done that. So let's say what do you do? What's 10 tips? I know it's hard to say. What are 10 tips like for your business or your business? So either one of you. You think of like 10 tips on fitness or astrology, or what can you think of?
If you want to start a fitness journey, you have to master consistency first before you think too much about the goal. Mastering consistency will help you transition into the goal, and you'll be able to achieve it.
So what would be the question to
10
ask?
tips
What are
to-
10 tips to? What would you ask?
To
What are 10 tips to ask the person who started the fitness goal, right? That's the question. How often do you work out?
No.
And if you don't work out at all, the tip I would give you is to start something,
Okay,
whether it's walking.
yeah, so we're gonna ask. We're gonna ask.
See if it gets the same answers,
Yeah.
right? So is that a good question? Can you give me 10 tips on how to achieve consistency in a workout routine?
Yes.
Let's see what it
that's what I
says.
know. What question would you ask it as an expert in?
So I'm gonna say,
And we'll compare. It's like a Wikipedia
Speaking
compare.
as an expert in
Please.
physical fitness,
Please.
can you please? Yep.
Can you please give me?
Can you please give me, and let's just see what it says.
I would say,
Yay.
there it goes.
Whoa.
Wow. So
Yeah.
when we look at this, realistic goals, schedule, find activities you enjoy, mix it up, start slowly, listen to your body, find an accountability partner, track your progress, focus consistency, reward yourself. I don't like it. Let's try it again. Let's just see what it does.
Post number 2.
Actually, stay positive. So that's a new one.
Look at the-
Reward yourself. How cool is that? I love that one.
At the
What's
last
the first line? What's your favorite first line on the second?
Set realistic goals.
But that word. Consistent.
Yep.
So what you can do is you can pick keywords and you
Mhm.
can say
So
what
I-
keywords or topics.
Like
Or
you
include.
to include, what word do you think would be really important to have in here for you? Or a topic or a theme or anything like that.
Just start with consistency and don't overthink it.
So not, I'm gonna say in quotes, not overthinking. And can you make this in a tone for what age group would you like to target for this? Is there? Or a condition or
Seems
for seniors,
65 plus.
65. Low impact, keep it simple, listen to your body, stay social, celebrate progress, be kind to yourself. Like, I feel like that sounds honestly like everybody should hear, but that's a really good thing, I think, for seniors of like, just do it, listen, go, try, consistency, stay positive, right? Does that sound more like things that you would say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you, just like when Dr. Dana was going through, you can get more specific. So you could, you know, if you really want to get longevity or vitality. So I've done this before where I wanted to make a list of something and I'll ask it to act like a business consulting expert or a marketing expert. Or so if you wanted to go speak to an herbalist, I would ask it to act like, so you can tell it to act like an expert in this, and then you can ask it, you know, and give it a background story of what your business is about, and then ask it to give it a 10 tips or 20 tips, and then it will do that. But let's do this. So you can play around with that and dive even deeper till you get the right tone. But let's go, can you, on number 1, please describe further and give, 5 tips on number 1 or something like that. So you can ask it on each bullet point. On number 9, please explain further. On number 10, please explain further.
And a really common thing, so that I actually use this for, is when people come in with a lot of injuries,
Mhm.
I will go in and I ask, what are the top 10 physical therapy exercises that would work for bursitis? And then I look at it and go, ooh, yeah, but this person can't stand, so can you do them seated? And what if they also have inflammation in their back, so that it's really hard for them to do, whatever, and that you can narrow it down and go, oh, that's actually a really good one to teach them. And then that's what I'll teach them in office. So it helps me to kind of come up with ideas
Mhm.
without having to like open my books and like, you know what I mean? It's just much faster and streamlined. And now, again, sometimes I do this and I get the stretches and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's actually physically impossible. So it doesn't always work. So you have to read it. You can't just take this and go, yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Give it to my patient. No. It's just a tool to say, oh, right. I didn't think about the IT band. That is probably a really important thing to stretch. Oh, duh, of course, that's going to be number 1. Right now, those may be like common things for you, but that's not my number 1 thing in my practice. So for me, it's really helpful. And talk about a good patient experience. When you can say, you know what, here, I've got ideas for movement. I've got ideas for your health. I've got it for your diet, your movement. Like, here's a meditation I think that would be really good with your bursitis, right? And then look up the energetics of bursitis, and maybe there's a mantra that goes with that. Oh, whoa, now we've got a whole picture of bursitis, and I did this in 3 minutes while the person's in office. Wow, pretty cool stuff, right? So I love it for that kind of stuff. I have this open on my computer all day long, every moment. And do I always use it? No, but it's just a tool, right? And so it's not like, and I very, very, very rarely ever copy something and paste it directly into something. It goes into my OneNote file and I edit it and I look at it and then I put it into theirs. It's not one size fits all, right? It's not going to work for everybody. But man, it is so fun to play with. But you have to fact check it. You have to fact check. You just cannot always believe what it says. That's why tone is really important in this. And that's the place I think it can really help a lot, is that personality and the word choices. How many times do we sit at GSD Mondays just talking about what word would be best for this? How do you replace this word with this? What's the best synonym? What's the antonym? How do we put this in a phrase that would make sense? Put it into AI and get answers like that, right? Instead of our brains having to think and pull out a thesaurus and Googling what's a word for kind. You put it in, it gives you 17 words for kind right there in the sentence that you want. So there's a lot of really good opportunities to use this. It's a
It
tool.
just says, yeah, and just remembering it is a tool and we still have to put our own voice. So I would never encourage like complete copy and paste,
No.
but
No.
it definitely can help you be more effective and efficient. So you guys can play around with some of these different tips of using tone and then being able to have it list things. And the focus of today is the marketing, right? So that you could get some social media marketing ideas or your email campaign, your newsletters. How do we get some content, and once you get the ideas sparked, that's when it's like, oh yeah, right? And it just streamlines the process so it doesn't feel like it's weighing you down. So when we go over the marketing. So are we good to go on to Canva?
Yep. I'm just always going to type in some people and see stuff like that. So I just put in stretches, and now here's 5 stretches that would go with the workout plan to help them, right? And again, look over it and look at things, but it's so fun. You can just play and be curious, be a little kid, right? It's like a little brain that you get access to. Like, have fun with it.
You have a shoulder issue.
See, we're all working. Okay, so then let's go into Canva. So Nikki and I really wanted to do some of the basics today. So if you guys do use it, this may be a little bit of like overlap, but man, sometimes you get a little extra thing in Canva and you're like, oh my God,
Right,
and your
that's
time cuts down so fast. So the first thing here that I know, one, you gotta buy it. I'm not for Canva in any way. I don't work for them, but to be able to brand your stuff is very important. And that is really part of the purchase. So you go in and you can set up your whole entire brand kit. So I put on all of my logos. And then when I worked with the person who made my logo, he gave me all the color numbers exactly. So then these are all in here. So anytime I go to make something, I know exactly what colors to use. I know exactly what fonts to use. I have everything in that I want to use already pre-programmed. So these are always there. I've got my white, I've got my black, I got my square, I got my rectangle. So anytime I need to put my stamp on something, I can put my stamp on something and it is here. And my other favorite thing, oh, somebody wants your logo and I can't find the stupid picture on my phone or the email is like somewhere, I can always log on to Canva on my phone and I can send this to people. So this is my background, my QR code's on here, my Venmo's on here. So there's so many things that you can add on to get yourself really set up to where you can just make posts, make flyers, make handouts as quickly as you can. Because man, this is one of the best tools I've ever found. So you have to set up your brand and man, you'll be so much more successful with even just getting things over to Nikki or for advertising for other people or for classes. You're like, here's this right here for you, right? And it's just always organized, which is awesome if you have 17 other things on your computer going and emails and all kinds of stuff. So very much set up your brand. And then one of my biggest takeaways, so I make a lot of handouts. I make a lot of like worksheets for people. I'm always making like little, flyers for things or whatever it is for all the classes I'm doing. But here's my takeaway. Don't ever use the document. The document is kind of like a Word document. It is so hard to play with. It's hard to put pictures in. It's hard to move the words because it wants to work like a letter, like you're writing a document on Word. If you use a worksheet or a flyer, you can add anything, pictures, you can add little things. This is my castor oil handout. And so this is one of the flyers. So if it was just a normal document, I could only make one little thing here in the middle. I can't make little side things. I can't add pictures in. So this is so easy. I have most of this stuff was just a written thing that I had from my school that I helped write. And so I took it and took little pieces, put it here, put it here, put it here, put it here. And now it's a beautiful handout for my patients rather than a wah on their treatment plan. It looks cool. They get an idea of what the castor looks like. I got the plant in the corner. So I'm like dropping the line of like, you're treating yourself with plants, right? So it's a little bit extra. My brand is on it. So if somebody sees this somewhere, they're like, oh, cool. Dr. Dana knows something about castor oil packs, right? Super fun stuff. You can post this anywhere. It's super easy to use. So I love using the flyers and I love using oh my gosh, I'm the worksheets, things, not documents. So that's really great. Another tool, so if you're like, I don't really want anything to do with making things on here, you can add people on. So I have a few people that come on and off on this to help me with making social media posts or, hey, you know what, we're doing a class together. Here, come on, log in and you can help make this with me, right? So I've paired with people on here to create documents together and then boom, we just did all of our networking together. We made the same thing. Their brand is in it, my brand is in it, and we're doing Canva.
Do they have to be a Canva user?
If you're a Canva user, you can link things together, I believe. If you're not, it's an extra login. And you can
Just give it to them through email and they can
show you
share.
online.
Yeah.
I have that, so we'll switch over.
Yeah, and so I'm really a big fan of that one. So another thing, gift certificates. How many times do we need gift certificates for things? Here's my favorite thing. So you pull it up and you've got your gift certificate. Well, what you can do is you go, so I have an NMN 1013. So this is the 13th one I've done. And so then you go here and you go make a copy. Now it's the exact same one. And now it's just a copy of. So this is a full new document. So I change this. I go like this. Oh, wow. Look it, I have a whole new gift certificate that's ready to print. Done, ready to go. So you can change it as much as you want. You can keep it as you'd like. And now it's a fully separated one. So now I can go back and say like, this was 13, this is 14. Oh, so now I know next one is 15. Oh, now I know next one is 16. Because if I delete this, then I don't know, right? So I just keep them copied and then I put them into a file and I know, oh, I've sent out 15 gift certificates this year. Cool. How many have I gotten back? Oh, cool, right? So you can keep tabs on it too, which is really great. And this is just a template. This is a template that I grabbed from their site. I put my logo on it. I put my information on it. And otherwise it was all pre-made. really doesn't take that much time to do.
You have a tool that you used a while back where you grab multiple different text boxes.
Yep.
Show
So
that to.
that was gonna be on a different one. But
Sorry.
that's okay. So, because these are all linked, so let's do it. So let's say I'm like, you know what, I wanna move this up to the corner. So I could go, okay, I'm gonna put gift certificate here, and then I'm gonna Inspire Natural Medicine here, or maybe I want the 2 up here. Oh no, I've moved too many things. That doesn't look good. Well, then why don't we do this? So you can grab, so let me say I wanna move the 2 in the amount. So grab it, highlight it, and then you group it. Now it's a group. Now I can move it wherever I want. Oh, I forgot to do that one. Oh, wait, hold on, let me fix that. And then you come back and you go, let me grab those and group those. Oh, phew, okay, so now I can move it over here and I can move this here. Oh, sweet. So now I don't have to realign everything and make sure that it's all equal and all of that stuff. You know what? I don't actually like this anymore. Let's just go back to where I was at. Boom, back to
When you
normal.
grab.
So how'd you do that?
Going back.
Going back.
Yeah.
Control Z.
Yeah.
Control Z. Sorry, I'm so bad.
Control Z.
Also have
And
it.
undo, redo.
Yeah.
And then how are you?
So you're just using the left highlight. So if I do these, I'm now gonna grab the picture with me. You see how there's a purple box around that? So if I do, it's gonna group the whole thing. So now I can move this anywhere I want. And then if you wanna, oh, just kidding, I didn't wanna do that, then you can ungroup it. And now it's back to being separated again. So now this can move separated. But even the text box stays with it, which is
Yeah.
pretty darn cool, because we work so hard on keeping things symmetrical, so it's really nice when that kind of
I
happens.
love the back bar on that because sometimes I'll get myself all messed up.
Yeah.
I know I can always
Yeah.
get back
Yeah.
to where it was before.
And another thing that I do sometimes, so if I want to play, I'll make a copy of this and it'll go right below. And I'm like, well, what if I move this over here? And what if I did this? And I go, I think I actually like the original more. Nah, I'll just delete it. And then I'm back to this. So I didn't even touch this one, right? And so,
Original.
but I always make a separate copy of a document that I know I'm gonna want to save as something else. I don't build it on these. I know some people say just do 1, 2, 3, 4 through, but it gets confusing when you go back because you have 17 pages on the gift certificate. Like, did you send that last one? I don't know, right? So I do it as separate things because the other cool thing that this does is it creates all of your folders. So when you can go back and you go to your projects, I've got folders designed. So if I'm like, oh man, I really want some marketing. Well, here's everything I've ever done for marketing right here. So let's say I'm teaching this class again, my endocrine class, I can just change the dates on that.
How did you get it in that folder?
You create the folders. So when you're here,
I know, I got stuff everywhere.
Yeah, me too.
And I need to get it in a proper
Projects.
folder. So you go to projects.
and then it's over here on the right. So it says
Add
add
a new.
new. Okay, so you
Alright.
add new and you can do folder. I don't know anything about the course, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then I make a new folder. And so then every time, so if you've seen my online, I've got all my love notes, I've got my, and the doables. So I've got ones with videos and I've got ones that, and I do the same thing. So this is the exact same template. And what I would do is I click on one of these that I made from the get-go. So, and then I will copy this. So again, this is the love note medicine only profession. And then I go in and say, you know, I just want to make a copy of this. And now I can just change this quote. Just keep swimming, Dory, right? And now it's not the perfect one, but I can resize it. Blah, blah, blah. Nick is going to show you another way to do this too. And it's pretty much done, right? So then I can share it. Do we want to talk about sharing it?
You had said something about, do you go straight to social from Canva?
I download them.
Okay, just,
I
I
know
wanted
you-
to make sure, I'm like, am I like
You
making
can.
it harder for myself?
You can.
That's what I do too.
But what I find is that when you go through Meta, you can do up to 4 weeks of scheduled posts. And so when I do my social media, I sit down one time and I do it for 4 weeks and I put them onto my Meta site, which shares with Facebook and Instagram. Do you know what that means?
Well, I know that my Facebook and Instagram, I don't know what meta means.
Meta is like the business site behind the scenes where you work with the planner and
We have a Facebook business page.
A Facebook business page. See, my Facebook page is my regular one.
I see, and I have a Facebook business and a regular, I'll show you mine afterwards, because it was a game changer.
Yeah, okay.
And it's worth it to set up the business one, because you do get that access to the background where you can just, I want a post at Tuesday at 9, I want to post Thursday at 8, and I want this and this, and it shows you the times that are the most successful to post too, which is pretty cool. So it's a little extra tool, but it's pretty nice. Yep. The other
One thing
thing.
that, oh, sorry, go. I was gonna actually add to that. So one thing that you guys might not be aware of is that well, not Google, but Facebook is going away from third-party apps being able to post on your behalf. So there are things like Active Campaign and some other things out there where, they're really convenient to use, but like they're moving away from being able to be accepted by Facebook. So it is a good idea to learn about Meta and how that back end works. So that way, you can stay consistent and you won't have to run into figuring it out later when, you no longer can use those other tools.
Yeah, and I think the other part too, because I've posted from Canva and I've posted from Go High Level. I've posted from other ones, but sometimes the videos don't actually land. They don't post.
Yeah.
Where when you post them and plan them through Canva or through Meta, it will go through. So when you're using those tools.
One more thing. So you have so many templates to choose from. So every single one of these things, you can select Instagram posts.
Thank you, Will, by the way.
Thank you, Will. It will go in and it will give you some of the top ones. But let's say you want to come in here and say, you know what, I want a customer review, because we all want to post those immediately when we get a 5-star review, right? So you go into customer review. Wow, look at all of these already that are there. So then I'm looking through and going, what colors are closest, or what design do I like that I can go put my colors in, right? And so then, man, I'm already drawn to this one. I really like something like this. So when you have the pro, it'll say pro here. And if I click on it, it's free to just start using this. And so I can come on. And the other thing is, there's a lot of copyrights for pictures and videos and little symbols, and Canva has those already in. So if I wanted to, I can come in and say, you know what? I want a cactus picture. And it will give me a lot of different things. Do I want a real cactus? Do I want a background of a cactus? Like, do I want a video of cactus? So then I can go and, I don't know, maybe I'm super excited that this person got me a review and I'm going to put a dancing cactus on it, right? So all of a sudden I've got it in there and it's no problem. Oh, but I want to put my brand on there. So I go to brand. Wow, my logo's already popped up. What color do I think would be best? Ooh, that kind of looks pretty good, but I'm probably going to change the colors to the other part. But see how easy, like it's so easy to just start manipulating, and there's a lot of added little cool things that they put. So this is just a little artwork. And if I don't like it, you press delete. It's gone and it's not there anymore. So it's really, really easy to start playing with it and get yourself inspired to just do them really quickly, right? And so in my folder, I have a folder of customer reviews, and I really just use about the same, like a similar one every time, to post them as quickly as I can, right? So I can just be done with it. So let's go back to home. And then in my projects, again, INN customer reviews. Boom, there they are. I changed a few of them around and they're awesome. Can post them, can go back to them. I send these sometimes to patients. Oh man, super easy to send one of these to somebody. They love seeing that kind of stuff. So very easy, and I can go back to this. Again, I don't have to go search my social media. I don't have to go look at my email. I don't have to go to my Google review. I can copy and paste right from here, and it's all stored and saved, and it's an app on my phone, and it's on my computer.
Love it.
That's my takeaways.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna do a switch because I need my computer, so I don't know if you can go.
You want to just use my computer?
No, nope, can't do that. So do you want to be the group? Put yours up there for me, please. Little transition. Okay, hi, there it is. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna be sharing a little bit on both of those, we're just gonna touch really quick on going into how we can use the AI. I'm not gonna dive into that very long at all, but those same tips and how we can speed up the process. It's gonna be the easy button. So it's called a bulk creation. So I will share my screen here. Okay. All right, so let's say, you know how Dana was showing you, so I've created this, right? And we could hit the copy button and then drag and pull, right? Copy paste. That would take a long time.
How come you're like,
Oh, I did do that, didn't I? Oh, how do I get it off?
why did you do that?
I hit a button on
Look
Zoom.
Look at her, she's on,
I am on
she's
Zoom.
on the-
Oh my
on the
gosh.
screen,
I
she's
forgot I
on
left
there.
it on there. I was like,
How
"Ooh."
did you do that?
I hit a button.
said-
It's
I'm
on
like
Zoom.
Reading all the words on it, I'm like, what are you talking about?
What am I missing?
It's like a picture and a picture and a picture.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's on Zoom. So on Zoom, you can do an advanced, it's a screen share picture and I forgot to take it off. So
All right, well, that's pretty
we'll
darn
get to see
cool.
that. Yeah, there's another tip.
I just don't know how to do that.
Yeah, no. That's another
I'll just show you. That's
class.
another class.
You have to do the next one, yeah.
I will require the next.
We'll
to-
tease her for the next one. Ask AI.
It will tell you, the secret's out. Okay, okay. I know I was playing and put that one on there. Okay, so let's say when I was talking about the Tim tip, so I was looking for education for social media, right? And be able to come up with our Monday motivation post or our Thursday or Wednesday wisdom, or you could come up with different things where you have a theme post. And so I was looking at natural health chats and I was looking at herbs. And so I was pulling that up. And so I asked AI how to let's go back to that. So I went to OpenAI and I don't have that but just imagine when Dr. Dana's, or we can bring it up, but I don't think we need to. So Dr. Dana brought up like all the different things you put in AI, how to speak. I asked it to speak like an herbalist, and I asked it to be an expert in herbal medicine, like a naturopathic doctor. I basically described Dr. Dana, and I wanted it to come up with 20 or 10 different herbs and plants that are healing and medicinal, and please describe those in 1 to 2 sentences. And so I copied and pasted that to, and I'm kind of skipping a little bit so we save time. So I took what Dr. Dana had, or what in OpenAI, and I copied the list 1 through 12. So you guys following me, or do you want me to open up chat? Got it? Okay. So and this is in Excel. Yeah, so this is in Google Sheet. So this is technically a Google Sheet, and then I dropped it in here and hit paste. So I could go in really quick and back up just in case somebody's watching this and isn't. I won't.
I'm curious why you put it in Sheets and not in Google Docs.
I do that because I share documents with other people that can help. So if you have a team helping you or you want to share that, it's an easier way to be able to share those files, and you can bulk share files that way. Okay, I'm not signed in, so we're just gonna skip that step. Okay, so I have a sheet here. Let me move this out of the way. And you can have several sheets, right? You can add your sheets on. I should have brought this. And all you do is you're going to copy that list 1 through 20, highlight it, copy it, drop it here, paste. So, and then you've got this long list here, right? Pretty amazing, right? So
Right.
what we're going to do is take that list and put it into a bulk action into Canva. And so before we do that, what we want to do, and I'm going to back up. So what I'm saying is have each one of these lines are going to go on a different sheet on Canva, and you're going to see this happen. So what we want to do first, now that we've gone from Chat GPT, we've copied it from Chat, we've brought it over to Google Sheets, we've gone section 1A, so you would go to like here and just hit paste like that. Okay, Colin?
You just took the top 10.
Mhm.
She took the top 10, right?
Just because I don't have this one pulled up and saved on
Don't
chat.
just say it on another sheet.
Okay.
Just to make it easier.
Mhm.
If you can take all 45 of them.
Yeah, so you're gonna go to chat, you'll see that list of 10. So I had a list of 10, I just didn't have this pulled up beforehand. You'll copy that 1 through 10 or 1 through 20, and then you'll paste it onto a Google Sheet. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna download this. This is the next step. You're gonna download it as a CSV file.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go into, and you can save that file. It'll be in your downloads too. And then you're gonna go into this template. So I have this, really cool social media, kind of like what Dr. Dana has as the doables. And you wanna have like the same template, but you wanna have something different for every single one of these. You could have 10, you could have 100. That 100 is gonna take a long time. So this is how we speed up the process. So we're gonna go over to apps. You scroll down just a little bit and you're gonna see bulk create. You're gonna click on bulk create. You're gonna go to upload data. Now this is where we have our downloaded file. We're gonna open that file. And you can see that it's right here. So it's kind of waiting for us. So what we'll do is this is where we want to bulk create. So we want to have a different, each line's going to go in there. So we're going to, usually you can right click or it's coming up on its own. You're going to connect data. And it's automatically pulling up this list. Let me pull this out of the way. Get rid of that stinking thing. Help me. There we go. So we're going to click on that box where we want everything to go. We want to make sure that it's the right size before we hit anything. So I want that to make sure, some might be larger or bigger. So we'll do that. And then we're going to click continue. And you can see that list that I had from the download. And then we're going to hit generate. Now we have all of them already plugged in.
You just want to go into plants, whatever you want to do. That's a game changer for me. I can just already see an application for that right now. Every exercise.
Right.
That's crazy.
But the trick is, so I tried this and I got real stuck. So when you're making the Google Sheets, it has to be in only column A and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when you look at hers, it looks like it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. It is not. It is 1A, 2A, 3A.
It's just.
Right.
And so when you copy it over, make sure when you're downloading your Google Sheets that it's all in that one column with the first one. Otherwise, it will
It's
not.
like a really long column.
Correct. It's a really long row in it. Yep.
Okay.
And that was my confusion piece.
Because it
Like,
looks
drag
like.
your-
Drag your A over and you'll see what I mean. Just drag A. Drag that over. Like, down the line.
So can I say something real quick, guys?
Mhm.
So I just want you to know out there that this is a huge value add that you guys are putting out there for this group. And the reason I say that is because if you look at out there, you'll find like people that are doing social media and want to charge you like $1,000 a month to like post 3 times to your social media, all this other stuff. They'll charge you like, maybe $500 to $1,000 just for a Canva class so that you can learn how to do this. I've been to those classes and audited a lot of them. They don't even have like half the stuff that that you guys have gone over. What I'm saying is that as professional members with GOL, you guys are getting a fantastic value, and this is huge, right? A huge advantage over competitors that may be out there and stuff like that as far as the landscape goes. So tremendous work on your guys' part. Seriously, Nikki, Dana, you guys are doing amazing stuff. So applause to you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, we have to put all of this stuff out on GSD Monday.
It's
We
GSD
literally
Mondays.
get stuff done. We literally are next door in Unbound, like right outside of the store. We meet every Monday from 10:30 to 2:30, and this is what we work on. We work on posting, social media, sharing stuff, and like we share Canva ideas. Like we look at things. I watch a video. I come in like, oh, let me teach you this new skill, right? So we're using each other and anybody else that shows up. We all benefit from it, and this is like the magic happens from the playtime and us and sharing that experience. So I also want to open up if anybody has anything.
You said Monday, 10:30 to 2:30?
Yeah.
Huh.
Come.
What am I missing? Did you put this out?
It's on the flyer. It's only for members, but more encouraged for professional members or people that are trying to scale up. Yeah, eventually, yeah, they don't have clarity in their business or they're just not there. So I want to help, and we want to help people get there.
Yeah.
So that's what GSC Money Get Stuff Done Mondays is, so that we can help get people to that point in their business where we can have that think tank. That's what it's called too, is a think tank where we get together and we can collaborate, and it helps be more effective, more efficient, and really just we bounce ideas. A lot of that is developed there. So yeah, good plug. So I'm gonna do this super fast one more time. So again, you grabbed from your AI, it could be your chat, you copy, you're gonna go over to your Google sheet, you're gonna remember the sheet is blank at this point. You're gonna go to 1A, you're gonna hit right click paste, then you're gonna go file, download CSV, right? So that's gonna download. So that's my sheet number 2 that's on my download. I'm gonna go back to my Canva, my pretty little Canva, make sure kind of like I give myself room in case some of them are longer. I'm gonna go to apps. I'm gonna go to going crazy here, going crazy. There it is. There's a ton. Yeah, there's more stuff that we could do. Like I'm sure I've got to play with data fill. There's tons of things on here. We're going to right click. Oops. Why isn't it doing that? Where is that? Connect data. What do you want to- Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Upload. There you go. Thank you. Yep, that's the longer one. So yeah. Connect the data. Click on it. Wait, did I do it? There it is. Continue. Generate 47 designs in the matter of 2 seconds.
So you can go to ChatGPT, ask it for 10 tips or something that now you can create 10 social media posts.
Correct.
And then you do like a tip a day or.
Yeah.
however you do it, like
365 tips.
Tip Tuesday.
Now, what you do have to go in. So like I would want to go in and hold this, right? Very, very minor adjustments for each one. But to do that same process of going page to page, copy paste would take forever. And so this is a way that you can be your own social media, like for this type of posting, right? And it's going to make it super, super fast. So I know that there are even more tools to use on Canva. And we can dive even deeper. There's ways to remove the background. I use that. So
It's almost what you look like on the screen.
Yeah.
yeah, so like Phil. Here we've got Phil in the house. Oh, wait, let's do a different one. So, we're gonna go back home. Phil's got his class coming up. And so Phil had his profile picture. And so this is another, let's see, here's this tabletop flyer. So, Phil has the background removed on here. And so I've got in my uploads, I've got tons and tons of pictures. I need to keep everybody's picture saved. But let's say we wanted to add somebody else on here. Let's see here. Do we have another profile? Let's say, oh, Matthew. Okay. So we're gonna add Matthew to this. And so his mug on here, we're like, oh, we're gonna add Matthew up here. Okay, so we can edit the image and background remover. And now we've just got Matthew's head.
When you had it down in the bottom right corner, because that's where I often put my face, like you put, like sometimes it did it and now it's not doing it. It wants to make the whole screen the face.
Make it your background.
Yeah.
That's because this is a photo frame. So this white piece that you see here is a photo frame.
Gotcha.
So, but you
So
can,
mine
but I can go in and I can lock that photo frame.
just add something else.
So if I lock it, then it's not gonna fill, like, it won't fill into the,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So that, because it's on photo frame, that's what it's. Like, no, I just
Yeah.
want to do it in the corner, don't make the whole thing my
So-
face.
Isn't there like a TV show called Phil Feed Phil?
I have no idea.
Phil being Phil.
Phil being Phil. Is it a show?
No, we can make.
We're gonna make a show.
We'll just take them around Boise and like have them try out all the restaurants.
The other part is that's the last thing that I'm going to talk about on this is QR codes. I know sometimes people get intimidated by QR codes. They are not intimidating at all. They have free ones on here right on this site. I like to go incognito when I pull up any events. Just so it doesn't add on any extra links for whatever reason. Sometimes if you go into one of your websites, sometimes it'll add on extra letters and numbers and you don't want to do that. So we've got Phil's class here. I'm going to open it up, right click, Control C, go back to my URL generator, Control V, generate code, and there it is. And it's a very simple QR code. I use a dynamic QR code. That's what's down here that I've uploaded. But if you don't have one of those, Canva has it right here for you. So don't be bashful. Don't be scared. You can add your QR. So this is just going to improve business so that people have full access to your event, to your business, to whatever you're trying to promote, and Canva has it on here. So that's another app that you guys can use. So we could talk forever on this, but that's the AI and Canva portion of how to be more effective and enhance your marketing tools. So I'm gonna stop share on that part. And wait, there's more. So I'm gonna hand it. So yeah, I'm gonna hand it over. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm David Bjorman, owner of Strix Technology Group, and so we've been doing technology since '99 now. Wow, I've been doing it for quite a while. But yeah, I wanted to talk just a minute about the email marketing. So when Nikki had up there earlier, all of the different ways that we interact with our clients, one of the most important is your email marketing. Another one of those things that you're paying a marketing person thousands of dollars a month sometimes, and they don't necessarily do the things for your email that are going to ensure that those emails get delivered. And so just wanted to take a minute. We're not going to get too deep into the technical part of it. But the things that you need to look out for whenever you're building your email marketing campaigns and your environment. Number one, I see this a lot. Get your own domain, a professional domain. So a lot of people are using the Gmail, the Yahoo, whatever it is, and they're, you know, they're doing their business name at gmail.com. That piece right there, what the rest of the internet is going to do is they're going to look at that email address and say, I don't think this is really a serious person, right? We get bombarded with junk mail, right? You guys get spam all the time. The servers out there that accept email, they're getting more picky about what emails they're going to allow to come through and what they're going to push to junk, what they're going to reject altogether. One of the first things they're looking for is that domain name. If you send anything that it looks close to advertisement from at Gmail or at Yahoo, most email servers are going to start pushing that to junk. No one's ever going to see your email. All right. So that's number one. Number two are your DNS records. Okay. And there are 3 DNS records that you need to pay close attention to. It's your SPF record, your DMARC record, DMARC, and your DKIM, DKIM. RC.
Repeat the last one.
And the last one is DKIM, KIM. DKIM, yeah. Right, so what these records are, that SPF record is a record that tells the rest of the internet that it's okay for whoever is sending this email to send emails on my behalf. So what's your domain name for your company?
Breakthrough personal training.
Okay, so breakthroughpersonaltraining.com.
Mhm.
Right, so you need to have an SPF record that says any email that you send, what email platform do you use? Google or Microsoft or something else?
I use Google.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, so you have an SPF record already that says Google is allowed to send emails on my behalf for your domain, right? Well, what happens is you go and you get one of these systems, a CRM system like Go High Level or something else, and you don't tell the internet that it's okay for that system to send emails on your behalf. Well, immediately you're going to start, your emails are going to get blocked. You're going to start losing the ability to send those emails. And so you have to go in and make sure that you have your SPF record set up for that. Your SPF record allows Go High Level to send those emails. The same thing with DMARC, a similar deal is your DMARC record tells the rest of the internet that again, only these platforms are allowed to send emails on my behalf, and we're going to reject anything that doesn't do that. And then DKIM is another type of record. It gets into key signing and that sort of thing. So these are 3 records that you want to make sure your DNS is set up to handle. Will, you know, he's got a marketing company. He makes sure that all of these records exist in the CRM that he builds, any kind of email marketing platform that's set up. He makes sure that that's done because you don't want to spend all this time, all this money on your email marketing for it to end up in somebody's junk mail. Right. We've seen when we go in and implement this for our clients, we've seen their email delivery go from like 3% to 30%, let's say. And if you're digging into email deliverability, those numbers are pretty high, especially when you're sending to a blanket list, because most of the emails aren't valid anyway. But to go from 3% of your emails actually being delivered to 30% is a huge jump. And so all of your marketing efforts just paid off a good bit more. So just wanted to go over that quickly. I know we're getting slow on time. If you want to dig into those directly, if you'd like to look at your records a little bit closer, there's a tool out there called mxtoolbox.com. MX.
So as before you get into MX, so to check my records, I have Andrea Blythe at letloverise.com that is run through Google. Right? So do I go into the Google records, DNS records? Or is
Google-
that what, or is this what you're about to tell us about
Yeah,
that this is? the way?
Google generally helps you set it up. So there are many different ways to set up your DNS records.
So I think I had to do that to create it.
Yeah, so sometimes Google does it itself. So if you're going in and you register your domain with Google and you set up your email account, they're gonna handle your DNS as well, generally. They'll set it up, and now you can go in and make changes, but they're gonna set it up for you. And it's gonna work great for Google. Now, when you send email through your Google account, it's gonna work great because Google set that up for you. The problem comes is when you get these extra services, like a Go High Level or
What about like MailChimp? Is that
Mail,
another one that's gonna interfere?
MailChimp will start failing
Yeah.
if you don't have these records. Now, a lot of these services are starting to help you do that. They're helping you get these records created on your behalf, but most of them are a bit behind. MailChimp is kind of a big offender, I would say, of sending out mass emails. The rest of the internet knows, well, this is MailChimp. So I already don't quite trust it. If any of these records are off, we're either gonna block the email or send it directly to junk.
With the company, yeah.
What about ConvertKit? Is that?
Yeah, actually, the client that was, that we helped their deliverability rate so much on, they use ConvertKit.
Okay.
Again, yeah, and when you go into those services, you can look it up on Google or whatever, you can say, SPF records for ConvertKit or perhaps DChem records for ConvertKit.
The one you recommend?
For email marketing campaigns, not really. We deal with so many of them, and I haven't found one to be just heads and tails better than others. Go High Level is very powerful. It does a ton. There's a level of complexity that comes with it. There are some that are much more simple. MailChimp tends to be easier to use, and so if you're looking to get out there quick,
Yeah.
that works well. So
HubSpot.
yeah, HubSpot is more geared toward just the CRM, but again, you do have to set up those records. When your emails are coming out of the HubSpot system, if you haven't told the rest of the internet that it's okay for it to come from HubSpot, those emails are not going to deliver properly.
I think that happened to me in November, because I did I'm gonna just send a thing out about like no sickness November, and I sent it to all of my patients, and it's first time I just grabbed MailChimp, I used it, I sent it out. Crickets, not one, I didn't get anything back, like not one.
Check to
Hundreds
see
of
how many
people.
were delivered and how many were open.
I didn't know, I don't think they gave me that access, but I was like, wow, this is crazy, like nobody ever responded, but I think I never set anything up, I never even thought of that, so.
But I think that brings up a point too.
So one thing that you might want to touch base on too is like the warm-up procedure for mass emails. We actually do that for our clients, and we set them up on a warm-up procedure for the email account. So that way, when they do set up email campaigns, that they start off sending like maybe 200 to 300, and then they go up from there. Because what you can do is you can actually burn an account by slamming it, even though everything is set up correctly, with your DKIM and everything else. You can still burn an account by doing mass emails right off the bat.
Yeah, you can get blacklisted. So there are services out there that will blacklist a domain, and that's what Will's talking about. If you just go out and start blasting people and either people start complaining or the servers that are receiving these emails, they start noticing, they'll blacklist you, and it's very difficult to get off of those blacklists. They absolutely make it hard for you to remove your domain, and you see stuff get blocked over and over and over. So for DNS, if you want to take more control over your DNS, we use a service called Cloudflare. It is free. And you can move your DNS over to Cloudflare. So you would move it off of, let's say, Google. And move not all of your email, it's just the DNS where these records exist. So your email stays on Google, but your DNS records go over to Cloudflare. It makes it easier to manage. And I'm available if anybody has questions.
This feels like it's about 10 notches out of my league. I'm like,
Girl, my
and
next question- my next question is, who, it's not how we do it sometimes. it's
Yeah.
who, right, not the how, but who, so, right, so when we're comfortable with our tools and toolbox, maybe we're playing with the Canva, when we get to this, I'm with you, I'm totally with you. Then it comes down to, right, so you help me, you know, and Will's help, like, where is he? Which screen am I gonna look on? But, you know, who can help with this for addressing the DNS errors? Because that's speaking another language, right? We speak a spiritual, holistic language, right? And so when you start speaking tech, who speaks that language?
There are some marketers out there that do. You're gonna want to kind of question them a bit, because I would say most marketing companies don't. They don't realize, they don't speak this language. They don't know what's going on. They don't know that at the end of an SPF record, there is one little character, whether it's a squiggly dash or a straight dash, that will wreck your email campaign. And if you don't have the straight dash, you're going to be in trouble. And the marketers don't realize that. And the default is actually a squiggly. It's not, the default is not for optimal deliverability, right? So a good marketing company will obviously does it. Boise Web, Jason over at Boise Web, he does it. He's very careful with that kind of stuff. Those are two of the very few that I've seen that pay attention to.
They're part of Duo
Yeah.
as well.
A technology company, maybe half of them that actually know this stuff and get into it and take care of this for their clients. They're good people to ask, but we have several technicians that work for us that still don't understand DNS. It gets quite confusing. So don't feel like, you know.
I just want to seek help.
There's also a tool, ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT. May or may not get you right.
Like for a 5-year-old.
Give me
Layman's terms, please.
detailed steps.
Turn on.
Yeah,
computer.
a lot of the services out there, though, if you go to the service that you're using, whether it's MailChimp or what was the ConvertKit, they have that information out there. It's sometimes a little bit tough to find, but they have the information out there. Go High Level is doing a really good job. They've recently added the ability to integrate with whoever does your DNS, Cloudflare, whoever, and it will load at least some of those records initially for you. And then you can go in and tweak them to get them to the highest deliverability. There's another one that you can write down. It's for the very advanced. It's what's coming in the future. It's called BIMI, B-I-M-I. And it adds another layer of security to help deliverability. It also adds a layer of I guess pizzazz to your emails. So you'll notice in your Gmail, usually there's a lot of times an icon next to the sender's name.
Mhm.
And so for the email, it's usually just an initial or something like that. Well, with Beamy, you can actually set what that icon looks like for your company. So any email that's coming from your company has your logo or whatever you want it to be. So that is gaining in
Will, are you
popularity.
listening to this?
That's gaining in popularity. It also adds another layer of to verify that you are who you say you are. And so the emails, again, you're trying to increase with every little thing the chances that your emails get delivered. Yeah.
Not just delete. Delete.
Yeah, and that gets a lot into your content. I'll say, watch your subject length. So that's one of those indicators that servers are looking for. If your subject length goes over 50 characters, it's gonna start, it's gonna start saying, "Mm, I'm not sure that this is.
What about
valid."
emojis in a subject line? For those of us that speak emoji.
Yeah, those are going to increase the score of spam.
Spam, yeah.
Yeah,
How
so-
about, how about,
Yeah, they're really on the lookout for the emojis and stuff like that, especially with such a huge emphasis on AI. A lot of times when AI generates content, it will generate it with those characters, and so they're looking for the auto-generated type of thing out there.
If you remove it from your title, your subject line, and still include it in your, in the body, in the text, is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not scan. Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and answer that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen where the emojis really increase. Now, the language of the email can increase the likelihood that it's gonna get moved to spam. If it's pitchy,
Mhm.
if it, yeah, if it's got a lot of promotion in the email, it's just gonna tick it up. Now, it's not necessarily gonna block it, but as soon as you add 2 or 3 of these aspects, now the score gets too high and email servers start saying, no, that's spam. We're gonna push that to junk. And that's changing constantly. What I was talking about before with the squiggly line versus a straight line,
Mhm.
that's probably 6 months ago that the email servers really put a clamp down on that. That Google and Microsoft, the major players out there, they really started clamping down on that one little thing.
Mhm.
And so you have to go in and make that change
Mhm.
in order to get your emails delivered. You can send everybody my email address. All of the emails that come in to me to the DeArmond, David@DeArmond.us. All of the emails that come in to me get scored through a spam filtering system that we use. And so I can actually go through and look at each one and say, why did it increase the spam score on this? So
Technically, you're David at the GOLnetwork.com.
I am, but that one doesn't have the same tool. So, yeah, David@DeArmond.us, DEA.
run that school, that tool?
Yeah, it will run it through our scanner that it tells me everything about the email, and it'll tell me if there's
David@DeArmond.us.
that's right. It will tell me if there's a problem with the DMARC, DChem, SPF, any of those things. It will tell me if you have a sample email that you're about to send out, or maybe you're having an email that you're just having trouble with. Send me a version of it, and it will tell me, well, the subject's too long, the content is too promotional, or maybe there's a bad link in there. The internet's looking at the links that you include.
Because sometimes I put a link to, like, to my members, I'll send them a link to an unlisted YouTube. And it doesn't like the link, it says it's not there because it's unlisted so it's not public link. So that would be like a flag.
It could be, yeah.
Well, and that's a huge value add that you're getting there if you guys take advantage of that, because I mean, you know, there's so many factors to understanding email deliverability, right? And becoming an expert at that is like something that most business owners aren't willing, and nor should they take the time to try to do. I mean, you talk about, you know, sender reputation, your email list maintenance, opt-ins, spam traps, blacklists, subject lines, all these things can come into part of like what you're putting together for your email campaigns. And you know, if your email campaigns are getting blacklisted or if things aren't working correctly, it can also affect the customer experience with the people that do choose to do business with you. So, for instance, like if you have automated follow-ups for appointment reminders, or you have other things like that, where there are people that do want your information, they're going to be prevented from getting that because you haven't taken into account all these other things. We do that through our company and everything, and we work really closely with David and his team too, to make sure that we're staying on top of that as well. So by offering that, his email to he reach out to him, take advantage of it, guys, because it's huge.
if I send you something that I sent like over, like a recent thing I sent on ConvertKit, I get about like 50 to 60% open rate.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
That's really
that's really good. And
Well,
that-
my list is also really
well,
growing.
Six. Oh, I know, there's, no, it's,
When your list is well curated,
yes.
you're gonna see higher deliverability, but.
Because it's
as-
new,
as-
it's brand new,
Yeah.
so.
As you continue to grow, what's gonna happen, those emails just go away.
Gotcha,
Quit
yeah.
using the
Yeah.
email for whatever reason.
People use their junk email. I know I do that. Here's my junk email.
I have a question about that. Like we have a very large, we have, a pretty large list that we've curated over the last 10, 12 years. How often do you suggest someone like verify the emails on that list? Like through, yeah, we've used Bright Verify, or now it's a different name now, but do you recommend people do that?
Like
Verify the
clean out
emails?
the list kind of a thing.
Yep, well, what tool do you use to send emails?
Well, this is through a company that we work with that provides our campaigns for us, but they would recommend it about every 6 months or so. We run them through a company called Bright Verify. To run our emails through, and it's only cost like $50 to run 5,000 emails through that. And then they come back with a list of the ones that are questionable, the ones that are not valid, that type of thing. Do you utilize those kind of tools or use those when you have an old list like that?
Yeah, I don't personally, but some of the CRMs include that, like high level. You can go in and see the deliverability of each email, and it will tell you for the campaign that you sent out, how well did it deliver?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's bad emails. This is what happens
Yeah.
with us, with this company we use. This is for our financial services business. It's built for an entire, this is our marketing organization that does this for us. And so we buy into this giant thing. If we send out too many bad emails, then we get kicked out of that whole system. So they want us to verify our emails to make sure that we're not overloading it with a lot of bad emails. And people do change their emails a lot, and we try to keep on top of that, but
Yeah,
you know.
I don't have an additional recommendation from what they gave you.
Okay.
We have a couple of tools that we do that for, and we don't charge to do it. We just, you know what I mean? If somebody's doing an email list or something like that, we have like Outscraper and a couple of other tools that we run through. We do have high level as well. So, but yeah, we don't charge to kind of verify the email addresses and all that stuff. At least we haven't started charging for that. I just it's kind of like let's just make sure things are going good for you guys. So.
One other question I had, you mentioned emojis in the title. How about punctuation?
I would stay away from excessive punctuation.
Caps,
yeah.
bolds.
I haven't seen, the bolds don't really come across. So what people will do is they'll put, asterisk or especially the exclamation.
all
mark,
caps.
That sort of thing. And those are gonna start triggering, I think it's just like the AI where you're nice to it. Think
be
about
nice.
you're having a conversation.
Don't
Don't think of
yell.
it as a marketing campaign. Think of it as a conversation that you're starting with the email. It is a marketing campaign, but don't think of it that way. Think of it as a conversation that you're starting. Put the heart into it, just like you do with AI and your service and everything else.
I literally put a heart in that.
The body
Deadline. I love emojis.
I know. Start saying be there, be square.
Well, and I will always go back to what Veronica Moss said at Coffee and Collaboration. Like, we are here to share information. We're not like selling, yes, but
Yeah.
really the true intention is sharing. Hey, I got this new event I'm doing. Hey, I got this new product. Hey, I have an opening in my personal training. Hey, I'm opening up a new dream theater. GOL network change. We're just sharing this information, right? And if you're interested, you grab it, right? But if we go in saying, oh, notice me, like look over here. Like, no, real gangsters don't flex. Like we are good. We are great. We're here to share what we love, right? So like I just go back to that because I read yours because you come from the heart, right?
I
And
like
you-
writing.
Well, you can tell.
and it's your personality. So like
Gotta
your
punch you
personality
with
is
an
important.
I'm just gonna have to look at my relationship with emojis.
I don't look at your relationship. I don't even see your emojis. It's just part of who
That's
you are.
right.
you know? But there's some people you can tell they're like faking it. Just put it in for attention.
But that is an
It comes
interesting
across
point about
differently.
AI, that like how you said, like you would take them out, and I'm like, oh, I love that they do it with them, but that is going to become, because AI is generating this stuff and they are generating with emojis, that is going to be potential flag. That's, never thought about that.
It's important what Dana said, that she takes, 3 copies of what AI generated
Mhm.
and makes her own, because all of these tools that are out there are using AI to detect promotional
Fraud.
videos, right?
Yeah.
And so the AI kind of knows itself, so that's AI.
Oh.
I can recognize, so if you're not taking the time to make it your own,
Mhm.
and you're just copying and pasting from AI, the tools that are out there to block that sort of thing are gonna recognize it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna block it. Those tools are getting better. It's a cat and mouse game that gets played with it, where, one AI gets better at hiding from the other AI, and then that AI figures out how to catch
Funny.
it.
So we started with how to get better at this with AI, and then we're ending with how to make sure
Get
it
away.
look like AI, so you can
Smarting.
watch it, get the
Yeah.
information that you're sending,
Yeah.
so that's really good though.
Just keeping your heart in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's even AI tools that you can drop your AI written articles into that tell you whether or not AI was detected. So that's nice.
Why I love public schools.
Yeah.
This is great.
Very good, thank you.
so much.
Love it. Thank you, David. Thank you. Well, thank you. I love it.
Go.
And we have everything, so I have my actions, I have it copied in an SOP, standard operating procedure. So whenever I find a new thing, I always like in detail, like open Canva, and I write that down in a list. And so we've done a whole fireside chat on SOPs. You guys can always go back. So all the fireside chats, they're all recorded. They're on the portal. So if you guys haven't been on the member portal, you go to my account, you sign in. If you haven't signed in before, you might have to reset your password, but that gives you access to not only the fireside chats, but all the learning experience. So every learning experience that we have recorded is on there. All our fireside chats are on there. And so the fireside chats are only for the professional members that have access to that. And there's just a wealth of knowledge on there. And some of it's going to be, this is what I love about these is some of it's like, oh, I already know that, right? It's validating, and then we'll come across stuff where we're like, whoa, I didn't know that. And it makes a huge difference in our businesses moving forward and being successful and being the most effective and efficient in what we're doing. And so that really is the point of bringing experts in like Will, like David, that are experts in the field of IT, like accept like the whole valley. Like if you're gonna work with people, this is who I'd want to work with. Or Jason from Boise Web. They are wizards at what they do. And so we're super grateful to have them as, in the GeoWell team. It's a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. We're just gonna everybody lean in and wave. Hey, glad you guys watched. We'll see you at the next one.